Hey yo, turn the bass up.
On top of that, you not taking the music thing so serious at first, that's how it all starts. You know what I mean? For the most part. Because
Yeah.
music is a, what do you call it? It's an art, right? You don't want to do music and have to force it. It's something that you vibe and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? That just oozes out of you, right?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people that love music. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's there for. There's a lot of love in music. There's energy being transferred. So it's like there's something that happens. Sometimes people mistake that love for like, I want to do it,
Yeah.
and it's like everyone's free to create and do whatever, but when it starts to trickle over into like, all right, well, I want to work within the music industry and I want to like be a superstar. At that point, it's like an unrealistic goal. It's like your love for music could put you in any one of the spheres that work in the music industry. You don't have to necessarily be making the music,
Yeah.
but like that's just kind of where that's the first thing you do, because I had to learn what my role would be as well, and like how to move, and I'm still learning, I'm still evolving, I'm gonna forever be moving crazy and picking up this and starting it.
Yeah, we mobbing.
Yeah, you got a mob like that, but it's like when it doesn't happen like overnight, then cats get hella discouraged, as opposed to just pivoting and like being like, oh, well, I still love like, what should I, some of the dopest A&Rs or producers that were trying to be rappers, or rappers that were trying to be producers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're all, it's like they just didn't stop. You feel me? Because they got a little resistance.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that while you were in Santa Cruz is when you started realizing that music could be something that you could do, I don't know, for the rest of your life, but at the moment, right? And so is that where'd you go after Santa Cruz when it came to the music?
By the time I graduated, I came to LA. By the time I graduated, I felt like it was a strong possibility that like I could make something actually make sense.
Yeah.
During the 4 years of Santa Cruz, college in itself is like a little bubble that is a purgatory before you get to the real world. It's not the real world. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's hella little safety net. So with me, I got that experience. Not only like in the educational, of like coming into manhood part, but like the music part, where it was like this little bubble of like me being able to do little open mics. You feel me? I had hella people in this little centralized location that if I go to do the college open mic every Thursday, everybody who there gonna see me, and then they starting to recognize and associate me with music, regardless of whether it's good or not. It's like that association was happening.
Yeah, they put the face to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was like me being able to hone my skills, and like I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedy. Like, you gotta go and tell the same joke over and over and over and over and get it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you gotta be hella not tight before you get tight and be like, yo, I'm presenting this to the world now.
Yeah.
And Santa Cruz to me was that like little period where it was like, cause I'm just starting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not capping like how a cat will be dropping their first album like, yeah, I just started rapping last year. Like, nigga, you been rapping your whole life, bruh. Stop playing with me. Like, I really had just started doing music. So it's like, I wasn't hella raw. Like, we gotta keep it a band. I wasn't hella raw. I had potential. And it was more of like my character and my charisma was what was getting me far, to be all the way real. It was just like me just having the guts to put myself out there. That's what people was responding to.
Yeah.
But the actual music shit was like me just figuring like, damn, this shit's kind of tight. And then you go from the open mics to then doing little shows on campus. Then those shows on campus turn into like, now I can do a show off campus.
Yeah.
Enough people come to that show. Now I'm doing Club Caution and I'm doing the Catalyst. And now whenever Thiz come, I'm opening up for them or Devin the Dude. Now by the 4th year, Tyler had dropped out, Marky Basie dropped out. I was doing shit by myself. That's a big part of it too. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do music just off top by myself if it wasn't for Tyler.
Yeah.
You feel me? If it wasn't for Marky Basie. Like that, as I said, it was all preordained, bro. They came to the school for a short time for us to link, you know, for them to be hella re-inspired and be like, bro, nah, we going to LA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I introduced Mark and Tyler. They get like, oh, we going to LA.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't just drop out and go to LA. But by the time I do get down there, they've now established this thing over the, you know what I'm saying, the past 2-3
Yeah.
years where it's like, I get to hop into it like, all right, well, what's going on? Yeah. But then they dipped. They went to New York immediately damn near. And so it was the same situation, but it was good for me to be like, all right, I had that little crutch right quick, and then I had to be out here kind of to the neck and figure it out.
So you was talking about Mark and old boy going to New York, right? And so you had like kind of like a little crutch once you moved out to LA. How was you able to manage that once they left and continue on with your, you know, music career?
I got a couple jobs and stuff. I was working at Urban Outfitters out in Simi Valley. I was living with my 2 cousins, and it was like I had to like start to like find new community, you know what I'm saying, in LA. And I was hella fortunate to like come out here during this wave where it was like myself, Nick Nack, Bobby Brackens, the Cataracts, and Dev, and like Trev Case. We were all like starting 6. We were all like this like unit that was coming from the Bay, and like our stories in the Bay did like this, like, you know, yeah. But it wasn't like everybody planned to do it like that. It was just that time, and we was like, oh, okay, come on, like, let's, you know what I'm saying? We started being like,
cool, yeah.
Let's get together on some shit, you know?
I ain't gonna lie, I actually remember that time because I think I was fresh out of high school or something like that. And starting 6 was just popping off because it was the party scene.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? So on and so forth.
Yeah, that was a wild time. That shit was nuts, bro. It was tight, though. It was really dope.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I got like 2 questions that is considered one question, I think. So one is, how is it moving from the Bay to LA? Because there's a lot of, you know, I don't want to say controversy, but, you know, there's talk that, you know, people move from the Bay because they ain't popping, so they move to LA to get some kind of recognition, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's damn near the opposite from what I've seen. I feel like most people get to a certain place in the Bay and then they dip to LA. In my situation, with just the type of music that I wanted to make and that I was making, it was very clear and apparent when I was in Santa Cruz that like me was gonna translate in my music.
Yeah.
And with that being said, it's gonna be a little askew of whatever is going on, because that's just me. So it's like I didn't fit into the spiritual, lyrical, hip hop head shit in Santa Cruz. I didn't fit into like any type of gangster rap category that was going on. I didn't fit into no type of street narrative. You know, it was like, where does this live? And I knew once it was time to dip, you know, this is like the beginning of the internet age. I was aware that like, yo, bro, it's like niggas making weird ass music everywhere, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't gotta be on what everybody is on at home. So I was like very early to be like, I'm finna just dip. I gotta go to LA. You know, I can't graduate and then go backwards, is how I was looking at it. And that's not a shot to the Bay, obviously. Like, I love the Bay, and like, the Bay has supported me for hella long, but it was just like, for me personally, I just knew I had to dip.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I was taking the Bay with me. It was like I was never going out there and acting like, like I don't know them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was out here mobbing, like really putting on.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about before all this camera shit. You feel me? And I was telling you, I feel like you supposed to have more recognition than what you got. You feel me? Or appreciation, because you from the Bay. You've been, ever since I knew you, you've been paying on for the Bay. And another thing is that, yeah, your music's different. It's a lot. It's soulful. It's feeling. It's, it's good vibes and positive energy and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I think if I was to ever start tripping off that, I'd never be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, you always gonna like feel like you don't get your just due or your credit or whatever, you know what I'm saying, if you start going down that road. I don't want to create that narrative for myself. I think it's better for other people to recognize that, you know what I'm saying? If you feel that way, it's a reason you feel that way, and it's like, you not the only person to have ever tell me that. So it's like, it's not on me. Like, I just take it for what it is. Like, yeah, man, that's unfortunate, that people gotta feel that way. What do we do to, you know what I'm saying? To make it feel like, oh, nah, like, bruh's getting his just due. I'm just mobbing, bro. I'm just blessed to be out here doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Coasting. Come on, yeah.
But one thing that I do notice about you since I was young is that you're tapped in with the Bay legends, Too Short, R.I.P. to the Jack, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. How is it like for someone like Too Short to reach out to you to get onto one of his albums? I think it was 2018. What? You know what album I'm talking about? The last album.
I was on a few of them. The album, the Pimp Tape.
There you go, the Pimp Tape.
Tape.
He reached out to you?
Yeah, man. Short hella cool, bro. Short is like, he really loved music. And like, I think with me, I never tried to be anything other than myself. So I just will press my line and do my shit. And like, I'm hella appreciative of all, the cats that came before me. And obviously the ones that have embraced me over the years, the Mr. Fabs and Clyde Carson, that's my big brother. Like the people that you name, 40, like I really appreciate these cats, like, just having a presence in my life, bro, and it being positive. But as far as Short, that was like really Zach. Zach, that's my brother. Him and Too Short have an extremely close working relationship. They both downstairs right now. Zach, we made this song called Mystery in like 2016, I think. And I was like, bruh, this might be the one to get Short on, you know what I'm saying? And we was always talking about it and thinking about how we could, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, that was the one. And then he just did it, and it was like, oh, damn, that's tight. And he gassed. I just had I love how he came on that verse too. And so then at that point, it was like, all right, well, now I owe him some shit, Then the first time I pulled up, we just did hella records. And I just fucked with, him and his workflow. He just hella easy going, bro. He really loved music. Like, you gotta think about it. He don't gotta do music, bro. He love this shit, bro. And it's like, that's just like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these cats, bro, like, they really love music, and like, that's where we connect, So it's like, yeah, I'm me and I'm on my hype, but like, when we come together, it's like we could really fuck with it, because like, at the end of the day, cats really love music. So
hell yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I noticed about the Bay, and that's what separates the Bay from a lot of other regions, is that the legends, the Bay legends, everybody know who's the Bay legends if you're from the Bay, you know what I mean? Even if you ain't, some people know, but they're so tapped into the new generation, and they connect the new generation, they give game and put them on tracks that is just it's a cycle, you know what I mean? It's what keeps us going. You feel me? I can't say us, I'm not from the Bay, but you know what I'm talking about? I
I've described it in the past as like this kind of fraternity type of feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like, when you a part of it, bro, you know what it means. You know, I think a lot of people do at least, and you kind of wear it like a letter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, so then when you see these other cats coming up, and it like, if it resonate with you, or you like, it's like, bro, that's really, you know, it aligns with me. You know, it's like, I hella enjoy Neff the Pharaoh. Like, I hella enjoy his music. He's hella raw to me. You know what I'm saying? But like, he'll say the same thing, you know, and it's a reason. It's like, we was both inspired by certain shit, and it's like, it aligns, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we give back, we link up on shit, and like, we link up with cats that we feel the same way about, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be recycled, bro. That's how we keep the energy going. Like, if it wasn't for my time working with Clyde, I wouldn't have a certain perspective and a way I go about my music to this day. And like, I hella appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta take that and then get that back to somebody. So it's like, I was playing this shit with Nate Curry. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that's hella clean, bro. Don't need my help for nothing. But it's like, I would love to help spotlight and like do some shit creatively that's like, you know, this makes sense. Like, he's in this fraternity of like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
off top. Man, one thing I can say about your music is that it's, I don't know if I'm gonna say the word the right way, but it's like a chameleon. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, chameleon.
Like a chameleon, bro. Cause you got so many different styles. You can rap, you can sing. You got that soul feeling. You know what I mean? And it's always different. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's so interesting about your music. And I hope that people could gravitate to that. And after this interview, people can actually look into it and see what I'm talking about, because it's something that they, you know, it's a good feeling.
Man, right on, bro. I think that, you know, it really has been one of the things that it's like a love and hate relationship, you know, that I have with it, because that's one of the things that has probably contributed to the fact that, you know, maybe more people might not know me, or certain things didn't go a certain way at times, because it was like, this song might have did really well and Cass was expecting that follow-up to sound just like this, and then the next song sound like this, and it's not bad, it's just hella different. You know what I'm saying? And I like that, but everybody don't like that. That's not the normal consumption of music, you know?
It's an opinion.
Exactly. So it's like, McDonald's is really good for doing what they do, bro. They gonna give you the same thing. You know what you
fries, bro.
The fries, but it's like, it's a known thing. You know what you finna get. If what restaurant could survive if you just pull up and every time you pull up it's different. It's smacking, but it's just different. It's always a dice roll, because it might be smacking, but it's like, I don't really eat this type of food. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's kind of how it is when you really tapped in with my shit. If you listen to the discography, it's like, yeah, there's an overall type of feel to the music, but it is hella different, you know? And I acknowledge that, and I'm fine with it, you know? But it's hard, bro. It's hard for cats to like really latch on to that, because you don't really know what you finna get.
Man, that's a part of getting to know who you are, and just going with the flow of the whole, you know, marathon that you're running, you feel me? But on top of all that, you know, before we close everything out, I got a question. What's some advice you would give to someone who's trying to pursue music, who's already started doing music, or just has the thought of doing music?
I don't want to give anybody any advice.
Yeah, fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not even, but you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to give nobody no advice, bro. For the simple fact that everybody's journey is different, you know? So it's like, I could be sitting here telling you like, you need to be doing this, and that's not what you need to be doing. But what I will say is, regardless of, you know, your pursuit in music or your pursuit in anything, while you on this earth, I would always tell anybody to just keep God first. You feel me? And that's obviously always easier said than done, but at least keep him in your line of vision. You know, always try to keep them in your line of vision. If you can't keep them first, bro, don't ever let them get out your line of vision. You know, cause to be honest, bro, I wouldn't be able to be anything. You feel me? If I didn't have that spiritual foundation.
Top, man.
You feel me? So,
hey, you made it to the league. Is all I gotta say.
I made it to the league, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
finals.
Hey.
I made it to the
NBA,
finals.
bro, the NBA finals.
And the thing is, I won. I didn't have to lose. There was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go to the finals and come up. I won. It didn't matter who won. I won.
Hey, that's facts,
you know what I'm saying?
So, like I said, before we close this out, where can people find you? Where is your music at?
You can find me wherever you listen to music, man. YMTK.me. And yeah, just search YMTK. You can find me. You know, it's not hard to find.
On all platforms, right?
I'm all platforms, wherever you listen to music. You know, YMTK. Yeah, bro.
YMTK is universal. So if you don't know, now you know. Go find out for yourself what I'm talking about, what he's talking about, what he's expressing. This is just another episode of Urban Moguls with B. Man, I'm so blessed to be right here in the presence of greatness. And once again, brother, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.